Hello, I'm Jashikins, and welcome to another episode of Jash Reads. Today we will be reading more of Megamorphs #1, The Andalite's Gift. Now, a little update for those of you who saw this week's episode, The Raven Speaks, and know about the technical difficulties that occurred on that video. For some reason now, YouTube has allowed the quick option to fully function again, but I am going to still prepare myself if it fucks up again, and I believe later this year, I think in August, this quick option is just totally going to go away. And so I'm going to be preparing for that too. Luckily, I can do all the research into that and figuring out all my options and testing without actually affecting, the videos that you see. So all my mistakes and testing can be done in private. Well, you can see good quality videos, sort of, if you like me. So just wanted to put a little update out there for those of you who care. I mean, I tried doing little update videos for a little bit, but I found that they didn't really get views. While my Jash Reads videos, The Raven Speaks, my reviews all get views, so I know more people are paying attention to these. Okay. and today's chapter will be from the point of view of Rachel, who has not had a hard time at all in this book. I had become very, very large. The cops were still outside, pounding and yelling and ordering me to come out. So I decided I'd better do what they wanted. I aimed for the front door. Not that the front door was going to be big enough, but I figured the front wall would be just about big enough. I could feel the morph progressing. In a minute now, as soon as the morph was complete, behind me some terrible noise like a circular saw going through steel. I trumpeted in terror and rage. Suddenly, the back wall of the house was gone. The beast! The beast! Head down, trunk curled under. I charged the door. Crunch. I hit the front door. The door popped out like a champagne cork. The frame around the door exploded into splinters. Then the wall around the door frame bulged out and popped open like a pimple. And out I came, several tons of me, an insane, horrific combination of human and African elephant. The unpredictability of the incomplete morph had resulted in a huge creature with a long trunk, tiny human ears, big elephant legs, and blonde hair. The police officers were surprised. I trumpeted again. I raised my massive trunk high in the air. 4 police officers stared with identical expressions of total, absolute disbelief. 4 mouths hung open. They blinked. One of them rubbed her eyes. Then they had something even more amazing to see. The dust creature ripped through the house just a few feet behind me, leaving it a mess of chopsticks. I bolted. You would not think to look at an elephant that it can even run at all. But Well, believe me, an elephant can move out when it needs to. Elephants can go 25 miles an hour, faster than the fastest human runner. But there's a problem with elephants, too. They are huge. Too huge to dodge and twist. Too huge to hide. I barreled down that quiet suburban street, completing the morph as I ran. But I knew I could not escape. Blim, 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 blim. The police were shooting at me? At them? At the dust monster? I didn't know. I didn't care. The bullets meant nothing to me, and nothing to the monster that was after me. It was after me. 100 feet back, a huge flying wall of gnashing teeth and whirling blades. It was gaining. I stomped through someone's garden, crushed flowers beneath my huge round feet, and annihilated a fence. I turned toward an alleyway between two homes. A park Winnebago was between me and the beast. Rah! The Winnebago was gone. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw a single tire bounce down the street. The rest of the camper was shredded. Right then, I knew it was over. If I kept running, the beast would chew its way through houses where innocent people were sleeping. I couldn't let that happen. This is it, I realized. This is it. I can't run. I can't win. I turned to face the beast. I saw it slow down. It hung in the air before me. A nightmare of gnashing teeth and wild eyes and whirling blades. The last of the morph was completed, as two gigantic ivory tusks sprouted from my mouth. From the beast, tendrils emerged. They were like ropes, living ropes that wrapped around my huge body. I felt myself being smothered. I couldn't breathe. I struggled, but the ropes just tightened their grip. The dust beast swirled around me, covering me. I couldn't see. I could barely breathe. Then the beast lifted me up. Or it tried to. I felt myself raised up, maybe a foot off the ground. Then we settled back to earth. Once again, the beast tried to lift me. This time we rose 2, maybe 3 feet, and then settled down to earth again. At that moment, a tiny flicker of hope was reborn. I looked it up in a book once. The largest elephant ever found weighed 22,050 pounds. Mostly, they weigh between 7,000 and 13,000 pounds. I had no idea how much I weighed in this elephant body. Probably not 22,050 pounds, but I was big just the same. Very big. Too big for the dust beast to carry away. Too much for you, creep? Penetrating the swirling, angry sounds of the dust beast as it strained to lift me up came a sudden. It sounded like squealing tires, like a very bad driver was racing toward us. And that's it for this chapter. I will say I can't wait to get to next chapter because, yeah, you'll see. It has a classic line in it, and I can't wait to get to it. So, yeah, this I actually usually wait a little hour or two after breakfast. I drink a little bit more, so if my voice sounds a little bit odd, that's why. I was expecting for technical difficulties again, and so I just wanted to get this out of the way. And also, I don't know, might be doing something tonight. I think friends coming over or something. So just in case those plans stay, I want to get this video out before that, so I, make sure I can get both videos out today. So, let's see. This chapter, I like how confident Rachel is in the beginning. She's like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna fucking kick ass," and then the Vlike comes by and is like, "Fuck." That was like, wow. It's like Rachel can catch a break. She was able to finally sleep her last chapter. And this chapter is like, okay, she's going to kick some, she's going to scare the police, have a little bit of fun, and that'll be it. And then the Veleek shows up. What I do like about this chapter is that so far in the book, we have seen the Veleek as being something without weakness, as being something that's like, you just can't beat it. It's going to be impossible. And so this chapter, we get one weakness of the Veleek. And that's the fact that even though it is huge and it seems that it can overpower anything, like if it's outright destruction, the Veleek is your guy. But the fact is that the Veleek has a weight limit. It can only lift things of a certain weight. And so the elephants, like, where it's like, nope, can't do this. So it just shows the Veleek actually having a weakness, which is a little, it's good. It gives you hope that yes, this Veleek seems to be nearly impossible, but it has one weakness. What happens if we exploit that? What, like, now that there's a weakness, you can start to plan. So what did you think about this chapter overall? And also, what do you think about the Veleek finally having a weakness? Does it give you hope? Do you like how it's revealed this Rachel, who has had amnesia this entire book, who doesn't recall her name or really anything, whose only real memories is being chased over and over again, and the monster that has been chasing her turns out to have a weakness. So, yeah. So comment down below. Remember, no major spoilers. I am hoping beyond hope that people find out about the Animorphs series via these videos. And so I do not want major spoilers, because there are some awesome twists and turns in this series that you should experience without knowing they're happening. And if you do want to talk spoilers with me, if you're on the YouTube's link in the description to my Tumblr Ask box, and you can, discuss your favorite fan theories, discuss something in this chapter that reminds you of something later on in the series. No. And hey, if you are human, and if you are a brand new Fandomorph, I want to welcome you to the fandom. And now, we don't have cookies, but we do have cinnamon buns, which are mankind's greatest invention. So, yay! And if you are listening to this episode and you're like, hey, I would really, really love my very own copy of Megamorphs #1, The Andalite's Gift. If you're watching on the YouTubes, link in the description. And if you're watching on my bloggity blog, link below the video. And both links will take you to where you can find your very own copy of Megamorphs #1, The Andalite's Gift by K. Applegate. Now, if you buy via those links, you will not be just supporting, the people who made the book, but you will also be supporting me. So, if you are, if you do want to help me out financially, this is a great way because you're supporting creators, you're supporting, yourself gain something awesome, and you're supporting me. So, hey, if you're, and now, if you're watching this on the YouTubes, please like this video if you're just glad that the Veleek is showing any signs of weakness. Also, remember to subscribe. I will be reading the entire Animorphs series. So if you don't want to miss out on any Animorphs content, subscribe so you don't miss out. And if you're watching this on my bloggity blog and watching on the desktop version of my bloggity blog, please choose the follow by email option so you will never again miss a blog post by me. I just don't do these lovely Jash Reads videos. I also do reviews, I do fan fictions, I do long posts about a variety of topics. And I was taking a break from doing the latest long posts, like after the week or two it took just to do the basic outline. And when I take breaks, I do some stuff on Subeda, and I do, some stuff for Manic Expression. And there's an event going on in Subeda, so that's really slowing me down. Like, I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave. I could leave, but I don't want to. So sorry about that. I swear it will continue. And if you're watching, and if you follow me on Twitter, you'll know that I'm Jashikins on Twitter, and that I do post updates about my various projects. So you will know that if you follow there, that when I'm actually getting back to it again. And the next episode of Jash Reads will be more of Megamorphs #1, The Andalite's Gift by K. Applegate, and will air tonight. I doubt I don't want to film it, before the friend comes over, so Now, before I leave you lovely folks, let's work on the graphic again. And if things change too much, I might not be able to do this anymore, which to some of you might be going, yay! And other people of you go, oh no, I actually like this part. Okay, I'm doing my live recording. I don't want to do all the work without a recording. Live. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we've got everything done but the words. So let's get the quote. Let's see. Game of Thrones, Season 8 quotes. Best quotes. Let's hope. It's a quote by Tyrion I'm repurposing. And as Tyrion is actually a fan favorite, there might be, some lines they might have actually saved it. Because if it's by a lesser character or it's some line that hasn't been quoted over to death, then it's usually extremely hard to find. So you're not the only one who's clever, that little finger, I'm not a lady, I owe them the truth. Do not become what you've always struggled to defeat. She's a girl. I once pushed a boy out a window. You're not a monster. I know this because I've seen it. You have always loved your children. I beg you. I once pushed a boy out a window. Okay, so, let's see. Game of Thrones. You've always known what she was. Tyrion quote. We will find this. Game of Thrones Season 8 wiki quote. Haha! I don't know why I did that. Ha! Okay, let's see. Instead of, I was going to scroll down all the way. I'm like, oh, look it, there's a handy dandy. You're an idiot. When I was a child, she did. Oh, God, this was one thing in Season 8 that fucking bothered me. Like, one of the many things is that Jaime Lannister's trial could have been something awesome where it could pick apart his character, see how he's grown, how he's changed, how he hasn't changed. And then it's like, okay, 10 minutes later, ta-da. And when I was going to planning my Night of the Seven Kingdoms episode review, I was like, okay, this is going to play a pretty big part. I might need to devote a few parts to this one. And ta-da. Sansa, Jon Snow, Tyrion. Damn it. Okay, damn it. I was like, this is going to be an easy quote to find. Best quotes explain variety. Winter is coming. Okay, shit. God damn. I love this. It's like, this is going to be really fucking easy. This is going to be easy, isn't it? Nope. Things we do for love. Can't. I know death, he's got many faces. You wouldn't be able to help us in this fight if I let them. She never fooled. Aha! I found it! My journey is She never fooled you. You've always known what she was, and you loved her anyways. And while Tyrion's saying that to Jaime about Cersei, I believe it also works with Jorah Mormont. Jorah was always aware of this darker side of Daenerys Targaryen. He always knew the two options that she could become, either a good queen or a tyrant. And he loved her even though she had this really dark side to her, because he believed that she could fight that darker side, even though that it was a big part of her. Oh, and did you know that originally Jorah was going to survive, and yeah, original ending for him was he was going to go beyond the wall. He was going to end up at the end with, Jon and Tormund. Oh, shit. I can never remember this. And I think it would have been... I want to say this, that I loved his death scene. I mean, that really fucked me up. And if it's a beloved character, you want to be fucked up. Like, when they die, you really want to feel it for a while afterwards. You want to go, oh my fuck. You want to wake up and go, oh god, that happened. And so in that case it worked, but I thought it would be even better if he had survived to see her like that, see what she became. Just just to see that heartbreak. And I think it would be even more meaningful if, he was the one who had to kill her. If he was the one who had to do that. Just because it would have provided a great ending to his redemption arc. Because originally he was, exiled, long story short, because he did bad things for a woman he loved. He put love over duty over honor. And so to have to face the fact that she was evil and that he had to kill her, it would show that he was again putting his honor above everything else. And he'd never ever recover from that. And it would just be more meaningful because his whole story revolved around Daenerys. Ah, shit. So his whole story revolved around Daenerys like that, and it would be a good ending. I mean, he'd finally complete his redemption arc. He'd finally shown that he had learned. And so it would be more meaningful than, Jon. I mean, I know the show is really pushing the Daenerys relationship, but it felt extremely rushed and forced. Like Jon killing Dany would have been good if they had built up the whole Jon Dany relationship up a lot more. Like that's the betrayal of trust like that is all dependent. But if they're like, okay, they had to have Jon kill Dany, like shit. Words come back here. So they could have had it that Jorah helped Jon with the killing of Dany, or at least doesn't stop him because he knows that the woman he loved is gone, and that the Daenerys he knew and loved would not like this woman, and he knew that he would have to kill her, that she had to die, but he could never bring himself to it. So he had to let Jon kill her. So yeah. I heard some people say, well, this would just make, people who hate Jorah have even more fuel. And it's like, okay, the thing is, if you're trying to make people change their minds about Jorah, some people just won't. So go what's good for the story overall. And what's good for the story overall, yeah. But yeah, okay, we have finally finished this graphic. She never fooled you. You've always known what she was, and you loved her anyways. So this whole Jorah, kissing the hand, showing that he loves her. And behind that face and hidden from Daenerys until she burned King's Landing was this hidden darker side of herself. Ta-da. Let's save it. Save as project. Ta-da. So yeah, and if you're going to be like, oh, it sucked, that was a total betrayal of character, I will agree that Dany's turn to villainy should have been done so much better. Since season 7, it feels like her character's just been dragged through emotions. Like, oh, you're supposed to, is supposed to be this way, that way. So when it happened in season 8, it sort of, yeah, it sucked, but I could definitely tell that something was up when she was even more bitchy and more entitled in the season 8 premiere, because like, oh, this is really fucking annoying. And then, she turns to villainy. So they were definitely showing that at season. She was being so awkwardly annoying in the beginning of season 8, because it's like she's going to be turned to villain. So that was, I guess, their little preparation. So I'll be doing my own season 8 review in the near future. So I'm going to, yeah, close that. So that'll be that when I discuss that. So the next episode Josh reads will be later tonight. And until next video, goodbye, and hopefully no more technical difficulties. Yay!